Tom Aspinall has finally fired back at Jon Jones after being publicly called out, and the MMA world is fuming. From fans to fighters, and even Joe Rogan himself, the outrage is building fast over what many are calling a complete mess at heavyweight.
What do you make of Tom Aspinall?
I think he's awesome. I think he should go on and have a wonderful career.
Do you think that he needs you?
No, I think he needs me. I think he's not in a position. It's just the truth. Because if I whoop his, it's going to be the next guy. There's going to be a whole new fan base of somebody who everybody believes in. I've done this my whole adult life. When you want something bad enough, and if you get it, it could be the worst thing that could ever happen to you.
What would it take to fight Tom Aspinall?
I'll see you guys later.
Over a year ago, I think, said, I will retire this man without even having to fight him. He's never going to fight me. And despite all the umming and ahhing and all the fucking pretending that he was going to actually ever get in the cage with Tom Aspinall, Jon Jones has done what we always knew he was going to do. He's tucked tail and run. Imagine calling yourself a goat and yet behaving like such a dog. I mean, this is like back in the playground. Jon Jones has got a bike. Tom Aspinall's come over and goes, give us your bike now. What you have to do then is fight. You have to defend what your shit is and say, no, you're not going to take this. And do you know what Jon Jones did? You have it. I don't want to fight. You can have it. This is unbelievable. The greatest of all time. What a load of shit. I'm sorry. Never going to call that him the GOAT. Ever again. Because being the greatest of all time is not just about winning. And that's what Jon Jones doesn't understand. It's about how you conduct yourself throughout the whole of your career. Are you willing to fight the biggest challenges, the biggest tests, go in there and test yourself against everyone? And Jon Jones proved, without a shadow of a doubt, his biggest test stepped up and he bottled it well and truly. Remember this clip from like over a year ago when Jon actually met Tom in person?
Respect, man.
All the best.
Respect.
All the best.
Do a quick picture.
Sure.
Yeah?
Let's get it.
A face-off.
No,
okay.
He wouldn't even face off with Tom Aspinall, let alone get in a cage with him. And after all of the fannying around and waiting for Jon Jones to man up and strap his balls on and defend his heavyweight title, because you've never really earned it. You beat a guy who wasn't even the champion. You beat Sleepy. Oh my God, what a farce that fight was. That will go down as the most pointless, pathetic fight I can imagine in a world title fight in UFC history. What a waste of time that was. And all of that time letting Jon just waste time fighting old man Sleepy, who could barely fucking walk, let alone fight. They gave him a bone. They threw him a bone and went, we'll give you the Sleepy fight if you give us the Aspinall fight. He took the Sleepy fight and then went running. And we have wasted so many fucking months. And all of it for what? For Jon Jones to eventually get to the point where the UFC were like, are you going to fucking fight or not? And he's put a fucking tweet out to retire. That's what all of this was for. A fucking tweet.
For months, Tom Aspinall has remained calm, composed, and professional on the surface. He's played the long game with dignity. But behind that calm exterior, a storm has been brewing.
Jon, in my opinion, if you look at his body of work over the last 15 years, he's like as close as you can get to perfection as possible. He's like 37, 38 years old, but not only that, he's got a million miles on the clock. So he's got a lot of damage on the body. He's took a lot of shots to the head. And that's not me saying anything negative about it. That's the reality of it. And I'm sure Jon Jones is aware of that. And he's fighting one of the most concussive punches in UFC history. And I just think I can exploit it. Like, I think to get out the way of me for 25 minutes at this point in his career without getting hit once, and that's all I need is just one, I think that's going to be very difficult for anybody. I actually agree with a lot of what Jon says. When you put the resumes next to each other, his resume is far superior to mine. The risk-reward for the both of us. His risk is... He has everything.
So on the skill differentials, where would you say he has the edge and where do you have the edge?
Well, he's amazing at everything. He's amazing at everything.
Are you better than him at any one discipline?
No, but I'm way younger, and way more athletic, and way bigger, and I possess a power that he's never seen before or even come close to. But it's not about Jon's resume. It's about who's the best in the world right now, and I think it's me.
I saw an interview where it said you and Jon are aligned, and you guys have decided together to allow for the UFC to tell you what you're doing. Is that true?
No, man, Jon's retired. What are you talking about, guys? This is, Jon, you guys don't follow Jon on social media?
I don't follow him on social media. He said that...
No, me too, actually. Me too, but the guy's living his best life. He's had a fantastic career, we all know. we know John's a religious man, so I want to say God bless him moving forward in what he does with his life and his career. And we move on. We move on. I'm the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. I'm ready to take on all comers, get this division moving again. Us guys have been waiting around too long. The contenders are getting sick of it. Everybody's getting sick of it. Even the fans are getting sick of this stuff. So John's retired, and it's time that we move on.
Behind the scenes, it's simple. Jon Jones has controlled the division with a snap of his fingers. He's stalled everything, and Tom Aspinall has paid the price. Aspinall hasn't fought in over a year, not because of injury or lack of opponents, but because the UFC held out hope for a Jones versus Aspinall showdown. Then Jones pulled out, retreated into retirement, and left the division in limbo. Even Dana White admitted he couldn't rely on Jones after the withdrawal. And now, out of nowhere, Jones wants back in, and wants Aspinall on the biggest card of the year.
Donald Trump mentioned that he wanted to have a fight at the White House Guard, and that just seems like such a huge opportunity. I'm a very proud American. I have a lot of close friends that are in the military. To be able to entertain the country and the world at this level at the White House, it just means the world to me. So I'm back. I feel freaking tremendous. I'm training constantly. The brand's in a great place. They're doing really cool things, cool people like yourself, and I'm just happy to be here.
Are you going to be a part of this White House card?
I don't know. I'm definitely training constantly for the opportunity. My goal is to just show Dana how serious I am about being in the event, and I hope he chooses me. But ultimately, it's in his hands. He's the boss.
It's got to be a good sign that you're here, though. Like with CBS and Paramount Plus and this big UFC deal, I feel like if you weren't in everyone's good graces right now, I probably wouldn't be talking to you, right?
Exactly. It's a great sign that I'm not only here, but a part of the production and part of the
Hey, so they've announced this White House UFC fight. What do you think about that?
I think it's exciting. Very exciting.
Can we expect to see you on the card?
I can't promise anyone anything, but I have a very strong feeling that I'll be on that card.
But who would you take on? Who would be your dream opponent?
I would want to take on the Warriors holding the belt after the year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Any possible names you think?
Well, no, I mean, as of right now, the champion is Tom Aspinall, but we'll see who's the champion at the end of the year. I feel like it'd be only fitting to have an American guy fight for the championship that night. I'd be willing to put it all on the line.
Nice.
First and foremost, are you retired?
I am not retired. I'm actively training 5 days a week, and I'm in the UFC's drug testing pool.
Great. And what's the status of the fight at the White House?
I don't really know. It's kind of out of my control right now. I'm training for the event. I'll be ready for the event. That's my goal. That's my intention. But ultimately, it's up to the boss.
The White House card. Fans are furious. And while Aspinall doesn't always show it publicly, this has enraged him too. He's been ready to fight anyone, anywhere, anytime. But instead, he's been sidelined while Jones played games with the UFC and held the belt hostage. And now, just as Aspinall gets booked to face Cyril Gane, Jones suddenly pops up, ready to make demands. The timing couldn't be more insulting.
At a press conference in Azerbaijan.
Jon Jones called us last night and retired. Jon Jones is officially retired. Tom Aspinall is the heavyweight champion of the UFC.
It's honestly a disgrace that this is how Tom Aspinall wins his heavyweight world title when Jones never beat anyone who was the champion either. Jones was never any more of a champion than Tom Aspinall was. But for him to be announced as world champ like this, it's just not right. And when you look at the star that Tom Aspinall could be, the amount of fights he could have had in all of this time, and the fact that he's just patiently sat there and wasted months and over a year of his career in his prime, because Jon Jones might want to fight him, what a disaster this is. And I can't believe that it's taken the UFC this long to figure that out. And I get it on the one hand because they're trying to give the fans what they want, and also, who would have really believed that someone like Jon Jones would delay things this long and bottle it in such fashion? I mean, it's pathetic on his part. But to be fair, Aspinall predicted it himself, so I just wish that they hadn't Michael Chandlered him this badly and kept them on ice. And inactivity is a terrible thing for fighters, and I just hope that this doesn't impact Aspinall's career any more than it already has, because unlike Jon Jones, people can say what they want about Jon Jones as a fighter, right? We've all acknowledged he's a skilled fighter, but as a man, I think he's a piece of shit. And Tom Aspinall is a very good man, in my opinion, and I just hope he gets the treatment that that he deserves for the remainder of his UFC career, because this hasn't been good enough. The one good thing to come out of this for Tom Aspinall, other than the heavyweight title, is kind of his aura now. When the greatest of all time won't even step in a cage with you, it builds up who you are, right? You have that fear factor of the guy who everyone was scared of is scared of him. How fucking good is Tom Aspinall? Very good is the answer. And it's funny because in all of the posturing that John did, in the tweeting and the interviews, and I don't care, I don't want to fight him, he doesn't do anything for all of that coping that we witnessed, where he was trying to say everything he could to make himself feel better about not wanting to fight this guy, and telling us all how unbothered he was in fighting Tom Aspinall, showed exactly how bothered he was. Because Jon Jones, like, you know, even though he thinks he's smart, he's a child, right? And he doesn't realize in all of that coping, we can read him like a fucking book.
I don't believe that he should be considered the greatest of all time.
Yes, they make you stronger, they make you faster, they give you endurance.
Even though I was the best I could ever be, knowing that I have to be ready. He's 28, the best fighter of all time. I would never give that because of that. He's not the only guy I fought on. If I can't beat him, nobody else is beating. Because when I fight the other ones, I destroy them.
Right.
Checklist of what you want in a fighter. Jon Jones. You're talking about a White House fight card? We got to have some Americans win. I don't like Jon Jones. There's no secret. The whole world knows it.
Right.
I said, man, y'all better put Jon Jones on there. We ain't got one American in the top 10 pound for pound. I said, if y'all want an American dude to go get a victory, put Jon Jones in there. He gonna win. That's what he does.
Yes.
People call you the greatest of all time.
To Aspinall, it's a slap in the face. Joe Rogan said it. The MMA world agrees. If Jon Jones truly wanted this fight, he should have stepped up months ago, when Tom was begging for it. Not now, after Tom has done the hard work and been left to wait in silence. The idea that Jones can walk in, wave his hand, and get a main event slot on the White House card, it's sparked outrage across the sport. For Tom, this isn't just about a title, it's about respect. He's taken on the best. He's carried himself like a champion. Meanwhile, Jones has played politics with Dana White and disappeared when it mattered most. This feels like the ultimate disrespect to Tom Aspinall's career. And make no mistake, he's had enough. So what now? If Aspinall beats Cyril Gane, the pressure on Jon Jones will be unbearable. The fans will demand that fight. Dana White won't be able to avoid it. Jones will have to make a choice. Step into the octagon against the most dangerous heavyweight alive, or admit he never wanted the smoke, the hype, the tension. The build-up.it all leads here. Tom Aspinall has waited long enough. The MMA world knows it, Joe Rogan knows it, and deep down, Jon Jones knows it too. The collision is coming, and when it does, it will be the biggest heavyweight fight in UFC history.